Then when you look at the ventricles, we say that the left ventricle has thick muscles than the right ventricle to pump blood at a longer distance than the right ventricle that pumps blood at a shorter distance to lungs. That is the function of the left ventricle. And we're saying that this left ventricle, because it is having thick muscles, it has a very small volume as compared to the right ventricle, which has a bigger volume so that it can receive a lot of blood from all parts of the body. The fourth part, or the fourth function of an internal part of the heart, is that the heart has an interventricular septum that separates the heart into two parts and prevents oxygenated blood from mixing with deoxygenated blood. That is one of the other functions of the intraventricular septum. It is separating the heart into two so that deoxygenated blood does not mix with oxygenated blood. The left part being separated away from the right part of the heart. Now, apart from that, we are talking about a fifth function of the other parts of the heart. Now, the other parts of the heart is what we call the semilunar valves. And these semilunar valves, we earlier on did mention that they are found at the base of the major arteries. And what do these semilunar valves actually do? When you look at them, they are cup-like in nature. And what do they do? Because they are found, semilunar valves are found at the base of the major arteries. They are found at the base of the major arteries. And what do they do now that they are found at the base of the major arteries? The valves are opened by the force of blood, generated by contraction of the ventricles. So as the ventricles contract, they are going to be forcing open the semilunar valves, which are found at the base of the major arteries. Now, the valves prevents backflow of blood into the ventricles, as I had already earlier on mentioned, ventricles when the ventricles relax. Because I said when the ventricles relax, they are supposed to be receiving blood from the contracting auricles. And as the auricles contract, we don't want the blood that was pumped out of the ventricles through the pulmonary artery and the aorta to flow back into the ventricles. So the semilunar valves are always going to be preventing backflow of blood into the ventricles when they relax. So that is the function of the semilunar valves. Number 6, one of the other internal parts of the heart is what we call the atrioventricular valves. Now these atrioventricular valves, we say that between the atria and the ventricles, between the atria and the ventricles, are atrioventricular valves called, and what is the name of these atrioventricular valves? They are what we call the cuspid valves. That prevents the blood from flowing back into the atria when ventricles contract. And we said NB. We have two types of cuspid valves. The cuspid valves are tricuspid valves and what you call the bicuspid valves. So these ones, the tricuspid valves, are the ones which are found on the right part of the heart. The bicuspids are found on the left part of the heart. So that is the function of the cuspid valves, so to call the tricuspid valves and the bicuspid valves. Apart from these cuspid valves, what is going to be holding those cuspid valves are what we call valve tendons. So the cuspid valves are supported by what we call valve tendons, which are attached onto the walls of the heart. And what do these valve tendons do? They prevent what we call the atrioventricular. So these cuspid valves, they prevent the atrioventricular valves from turning inside out. The word is inside out when under pressure, when the ventricles contract.